One way that I found myself burning out time and time again, one bad habit that I kept following was this old leadership myth that says that leaders must be decisive. They can never waver. Let me tell you, in reality, leaders today, they need to be adaptive, transparent, and steady, even when they don't have certainty. I'm Sophia, and I help driven women climb in corporate without the cost of burnout. Let's get into it. I once delayed a stage gate process. I was in charge of pricing. You could price things along the way as you add more components to them. And I delayed it because I didn't have all the answers yet. I thought waiting would make me look smarter. It would make me look strategic. It would make me, I was a bottleneck, to be honest, and I was a jerk about it. But I don't know what I was thinking. Instead, my team worked double and I delayed the stage gate process. I just delayed some other launches because everyone was stressed because we had to get the pricing right. We had to wait on this process. What's going on with Sophia? And I lost trust in me, and my team lost trust in me. And the moment I said, hey, here's what I know, and here's what I don't know, and here's our next step, all of that tension between me and my team dropped. Can you relate to this? Are you following some, I don't know, hierarchical, old school leadership trope that you know is not serving you? That's what we're talking about today. In fact, I want you to drop some in the comments because this is what it's about. It's about having a dialogue about these hidden truths that no one talks about. Like, do you respect leaders more who admit uncertainty or those who push forward like nothing's wrong, right? It's like, does everyone else see what I see? Why aren't they saying anything? Leaders don't eliminate uncertainty. They eliminate anxiety about the uncertainty. And that's the new leadership skill that we all need to develop. Uh, I love comparing happiness to how we show up at work. And happiness is less about our circumstances and more about how we control and connect with what we feel. I'm not saying you need to be happy at work, but I am saying that mindset matters. And that applies to leadership too. When you give people clarity about process, even without clarity about the outcome, you reduce fear. So how about just a micro habit that you could weave around this change or this pivot when you are facing the unknown, instead of hiding behind it or ignoring it or being, avoidant. I want you to face the unknown and say to your team, "Hey, here's what we know right now. Here's what we're doing next while we figure out the rest." How does that feel? I mean, it's simple because it creates a psychological safety net, and that's what good leaders do. They make sure their teams feel safe. And with so many changing events that are happening, we want to build and maintain that safety. Like, you don't have to know the whole staircase, where the whole staircase leads. Just take that first step. I borrowed that one from Mel Robbins. So, what's one decision that you've been delaying because you're waiting for uncertainty? I want you to hold that in your mind and think through that framework that I gave you. Like, here's what we know right now, and here's what we're going to do next while we try to figure it out. And I talk to a lot of women who are in that burnout cycle. Like, yes, I know I need to change. I don't know how to change, but I'm going to just keep grinding and I'll figure it out. We have to take a beat, to pause, to think through what we know and what we don't know. In that example, I know that working all these late hours, it's not good for me. I know just being chained to my desk, tethered to my desk, and all these expectations, it isn't where I want to be. This is not why I joined this company or even why I got hired for this role. Like, let's be honest about it. And then ask yourself, like, what can I do next? until I figure things out. What's one step or one thing I can do? Can I jot down all my wins from my last project or presentation so that way my resume is good to go or my mid-year review is good to go and I can leverage that in my one-on-one? It's simple, but it takes you having psychological safety with yourself to pivot, to make that change, and to have that courage. So if you're tired of circling the burnout spiral, let's talk. Because I work with women who want to keep their high power roles and finally have breathing room. I want you to join my masterclass. The link is in the notes section, and I'll give you a 10-minute pivot that can reshape how you show up and how you lead, because it's not about doing more. It's about leading yourself so powerfully. Let me pause, because if you're a driven woman, you're leading everyone else. You're leading teams, you're leading, projects, you're leading presentations, you're leading all those things powerfully. But I want you to lead yourself so powerfully that everything else around you shifts. So yeah, come to my masterclass. And then if you have it all figured out, I want you to invite me into your organization for a workshop, because when women stop burning out, everyone wins. Did you subscribe? Subscribe. Come on. You want more of these conversations. Subscribe. Subscribe.